folks, who do we have here?
Rocco DeLuca here with the bearded one, the most righteous.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Rocco is here because of the Sho Bud Live, Y'all Star Revue, and we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate that.
How did you get tied into this?
It was a nice invitation from my old buddy Slash. We had done a beautiful track for his solo record years ago, and fast forward years later, we talked on the phone a little bit about some pedal steel things, pickups, talked about Sho Bud for a long time, and then he said, "Oh, I'll go introduce you to my friends over at Sho Bud." And I met Will and Dawn, and they've been so wonderful, and just felt like I was speaking with people I had known for a long time, So I love steel guitar. I love all kinds of forms of slide guitar, steels, in all manners. And so this one is so special. It's a special instrument and a special family. So that's where I like to hang out if I have a choice. Anyway.
I'm with you.
Okay, good.
Like special instrument. What is very special about the Sho Bud instruments in particular?
Pioneering, to be one. I hear beautiful stories both from the deep south and from. I'm an Angelino, and California has a history with it too, especially coming from Hawaii. And there was a lot of tinkerers doing some really amazing stuff in their garages, and some really inventive homemade instruments were being made. But I felt like seems like Sho Bud was the one who put it together and standardized it with all those great minds that were involved. And I think about what a beautiful thing that it is such an American experience, because that is an original American instrument.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sacred,
But also kind of originating from like Hawaiian lap steels, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that or perhaps do you think it comes more from a lap steel or a dobro? Is it? Well, probably more lap steel, right?
The stories I was always told was there was so much travel going to the Pacific Islands, especially Portugal and from that area, and they're bringing their guitars, and eventually they ended up bowing and ended up on laps, with different materials, and that sound seemed to have spread through very special hands across the world, even into India. Some of my favorite players were taking arch tops, regular arch top guitars, placing them on their laps, playing them. They sound beautiful. But the pedal steel is such a wonderful instrument for people who love counterpoint in music and love the idea of things constantly in motion. There's never a real static chord. It's always melting into the next thing.
It's almost like a few voices always singing. Right?
And leading.
Kind of like a quartet that's just weaving in and out of each other.
Yes, exactly.
And angelic one, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Remarkable.
I guess that ties into the whole sacred steel aspect of it. Steel guitar, pedal steel being an instrument in Pentecostal churches.
Yeah, and those beautiful players, they have that such a special touch for the human voice.
Yeah.
And I saw Robert Randolph here.
Yeah.
He's one of them, And there's other beautiful players, both from the older generation and newer, that I've seen that have a beautiful touch. And that's India too, and a few other places that have that human voice touch with that steel. It's cool.
It's amazing what can come out of a string. The evocative spiritual component that's somehow right. That's almost living inside the ready to be expressed in the.
Then I hear the stories about the church. And when they couldn't get B3, sometimes they would have to settle for a pedal steel. And that's very interesting too, to think of the lineage from the pipe organ and those beautiful cathedrals all the way to a shack, where someone's laying it down on a pedal steel. And it's connected. That's totally connected.
Well, so Slash essentially got you tied up with
Yeah.
Sho Bud.
Yeah.
And then, what have you done with Slash?
We did a real lovely piece of music together for his first solo record a few years back. I think the title was "A Saint is a Sinner Too," and Slash was playing beautiful acoustic guitar on it. And it was a blast. And he reached out, and it was really lovely just to hook up with him and his crew, everybody who was rolling.
Man, so what do you have upcoming, or what's going on right now with you musically?
Musically, well, I had got a chance to work on a few films, which was really nice, and made a gospel record, which I'm very proud of, and made a new record for Sho Bud.
Did you?
Yes. It's not out yet, but it'd be coming out soon.
You know, one thing, I love that song you're playing. I listened to the whole Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
I created a playlist when I drive to my brother's house in Montana.
Yeah.
And I go through the middle of nowhere and I plan my trips so it's the most remote route I can take.
Yeah.
And I played that back to back. And what song are you playing? It's your song.
Yeah.
What's the name of that song?
Well, there's a That's the Way It Is.
Yeah,
one,
it's such a beautiful song.
and then Unshaken, and then another one which is basically Unshaken called Crash of Worries. And that's just a chant with me and the Neville brothers.
Dude, these are so beautiful.
In New Orleans, we got to record that. That was a lot of fun.
You know what? I heard you playing in there. It just, I can't believe you were doing that.
Oh man, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I feel honored. You know, that's a very beautiful instrument, and there's a lot of dedicated souls. You know, and that's the thing. It's a very humbling experience, and like, I really just love the camaraderie what that instrument brings around. You know, it's really nice.
It is interesting to have so many pedal steels on one stage and steel players.
There's a lot of nice steels.
Such an interesting event.
Yeah.
To actually have that happen.
I'm gonna throw them all in my van downstairs. And I'm gonna know what happened.
It would be good. Oh man. Well, how can folks find you out there? On the socials or on the...
Pretty soon I'll start again. I've been laying kind of low, you know.
Yeah.
I put the phone down for a little bit and kind of just been woodshedding a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But eventually I play some nice rooms with my some beautiful friends. They're like my brothers here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Like amazing treasure, upright bass player named Seth Ford Young. Ben Lacourt, a fantastic drummer from France, with beautiful touch. My friend Dylan Day, who's a fantastic guitar player, but a really fine acoustic Gibson player in particular.
Okay.
And we love to play our Gibsons together, and Steele and Gibson together. And I want to mention my last friend, Lucas Guerin, who's got a beautiful voice and is singing harmony with me tonight.
Okay, Lucas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lucas Guerin.
Guerin.
Another folk friend.
Guerin. You know, one thing too, you've worked with Daniel Lanois on many records, right?
Yeah, I felt like we spent almost 12 years together, really, you know, hanging out, and I helped him with his projects, and he helped me with mine. And it was really, really lovely. We toured a lot, got to play with some great players because of him, like Brian Blade, people like Brian Blade. Daryl Jailbird Johnson, and all of the beautiful crew down in Shreveport, Louisiana, which is the Hallelujah Train, which is some of the best music America's ever got to hear.
Some of the best music is down there.
It's down there, yeah.
And it's also hidden.
Yeah.
You know, you go around a corner or something and you're just like, what is this?
Right.
Like, is this for real?
Exactly.
Right?
I sometimes I can't tell if I'm dreaming or not when I hear them play.
Man, well, folks, Rocco DeLuca.
Thanks for the
here at the Y'all Star Revue, the Sho Bud Live. We're so happy to have you. Thank you, my man.
Y'all Star Revue.